We constantly hear that artificial intelligence is coming to replace human labor. But if you look closely at past predictions about major economic disruptions, you find a long track record of inaccurate guesswork. To get past the theories, we are going to look at new economic research from Anthropic. Instead of guessing what models might do, they measured exactly what tasks large language models are actually performing in the real workforce today. We'll use this data to conduct an AI exposure audit on your specific career path. By the end of this process, we will map out which roles are actively being automated, which specific daily tasks are changing, and what the hiring outlook actually is for the next decade. Tracking real economic data gives you the leverage to prepare your career for actual market conditions, rather than reacting to media hype. Grab a notebook, write down your current or target job title, and let's start the audit. Step 1 is recalibrating your baseline. We have to separate what AI can theoretically do from what businesses are actually using it for right now. This radar chart compares theoretical AI capabilities against actual observed real-world usage across different occupational categories. The large blue area shows all the tasks that AI could theoretically speed up. The much smaller red shape in the center shows the actual observed usage. This represents the tasks professionals are actively using platforms like Claude to complete. The gap between these two shapes is massive. Look at the computer and math category. The blue outer point shows that LLMs could theoretically penetrate 94% of the tasks in this sector, but the red inner point shows current actual coverage is sitting at just 33%. On the other end of the spectrum, look at the agriculture and construction categories. Both the blue and red zones collapse towards zero, showing that physical labor remains entirely outside the scope of current LLM capabilities. Now, look at the job title you wrote down. Find the broad category on this chart that best fits your role to establish your baseline risk. If you wrote down a physical labor job, your current exposure is 0. If your job falls into office and admin or computer and math, you have clear exposure and you need to proceed to the next step. The fact that an AI is capable of doing a task does not mean companies have navigated the legal constraints, software requirements, or human verification steps to actually deploy it. The timeline for job displacement is moving slower than theoretical models suggest. Step 2 of the audit requires checking if your target job ranks on the real-world list of the most highly exposed occupations. This data table ranks specific jobs by their highest observable AI exposure. At the top of the list, we see computer programmers. Their observed exposure sits at nearly 75%. Right below them are customer service representatives at 70% and data entry keyers at 67%. Evaluate your chosen job title. Does your daily work share DNA with these roles? Look for heavy coding, high-volume text-based customer interaction, or routine document data extraction. If your job overlaps with these fields, we move to Step 3. Breaking the job down into specific tasks. AI does not replace an entire job profile at once. Notice the column on the far right. Businesses are using AI to automate specific, highly repetitive workflows. The complex human elements of the job are left untouched. For example, customer service reps are losing the task of answering basic inquiries or routing information via an API. An API is a software interface that allows programs to talk to each other and retrieve data automatically. The AI handles the API data retrieval, but the human retains the role of managing complex, empathetic client relationships. Similarly, programmers are automating code snippet generation, not high-level system architecture. A high exposure ranking means the daily, repetitive, screen-based tasks within your role are being handed over to AI. It does not mean the underlying profession disappears tomorrow. Step 4 is taking these task-level changes and looking at how they actually impact hiring data in the real world. Despite the high exposure numbers we just looked at, aggregate data from the current population survey shows unemployment has not systematically spiked for veteran workers currently holding these roles. This line graph shows the percentage of young workers, ages 22 to 25, starting new jobs each month. The blue line represents jobs with no AI exposure, and the red line represents jobs in the top quartile of AI exposure. Starting in 2024, the lines visibly diverge. While job finding rates for unexposed roles remain stable, new job starts for young workers in highly exposed roles dropped by about 14%. Veteran employees are retaining their jobs by adapting to the tools. But the simple, repetitive tasks that businesses historically use to train junior employees are the exact tasks being automated. This is creating a severe hiring bottleneck for new graduates trying to enter these fields. You have now completed your AI Exposure Audit. You know how to ignore theoretical hype, identify actual workplace usage, and isolate the specific tasks putting your role at risk. Your next step is clear. You must aggressively focus your skill development on the unexposed elements of your job. Prioritize complex strategy, deep judgment calls, and high-level human interaction. Navigating this economy requires a division of labor. Let the AI handle the repetitive workflows, while you handle the tasks that require physical presence and nuanced decision-making. The labor market is actively shifting, but by tracking empirical data and adapting your specific skills, you can stay ahead of the curve.